There were clashes again overnight between protesters and law enforcement outside of an immigration detention center in Newark, New Jersey.
Since Friday, approximately 300 detainees have been on strike. They are demanding an in-person meeting with Governor Sherrill, as well as the immediate release of vulnerable detainees.
This dude was already doing all sorts of shit. No way it changed his life. First of all, your cynicism is holding you back. Second of all, even a person with this kind of body can be very stiff and inflexible if they're not doing a mobility routine. Third of all, you don't know how long he's been doing it. Maybe it changed his life 3 years ago, and since then he's gotten super fit. For all you know, he started doing this, and then he built the body around it. You know? You don't know.
No KKK, no fascist USA!
What's up, everybody? We're back.
So wait, who linked this and why? What am I looking at? Who is this?
We're currently on our way to the Delaney ICE facility. We're going to be first linking up with Adam Hamawi and his team. And we are joined by Dropsite, who was kind enough.
Do you want to be on camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this? Somebody linked this. Who linked this? What is it? What are we?
Right back.
Clarabelle, they're one bit. And they fired rubber bullets at organizers.
All of this as the state has now stepped in around Delaney Hall, where protests over conditions inside the detention center have stretched on for more than a week. Governor Mikey Sherrill has ordered New Jersey State Police to establish a protected protest zone after days of escalating tensions, pepper spraying, arrests, and confrontations between demonstrators and federal officers.
And I think the most exhausting piece is that Mikey keeps repeating that she talked to
conditions, ventilation problems, serious health issues.
I talked to a woman who was recently postpartum, had given birth just weeks earlier.
See, do you see where the chalk was over here? They had this set up.
Yeah, I mentioned this yesterday, but it wasn't covered much. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the main thing that I had to say about it is the fact that ICE has fallen so much since like at the beginning of the year or late last year, where it was like they were commanding the damn military to protect them and build a wall out and shield them. And now it's like you can just have ongoing protests, you know, outside an ICE facility. They ever really have the fear they were trying for? Not really, no. These protests have been, I mean, they've really been escalating.
There were clashes again overnight between protesters and law enforcement outside of an immigration detention center in Newark, New Jersey. NBC's Valerie Castro is on the scene with the latest. Valerie, good morning.
Willie, good morning. We are now entering day 10 of these protests here outside Delaney Hall in New Jersey. And overnight, things heating up once again between protesters and law enforcement. The crowd last night was met by state police carrying riot shields and deploying tear gas after protesters attempted to push over metal barricades that had been set up to create protest zones. Beginning at midnight, Newark's mayor announced a curfew for the area that will be in effect from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. going forward. DHS posting that the area was secured with the help of local law enforcement. This all comes after intense clashes Friday night, and earlier that day, New Jersey State Police stepped in at the direction of New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill to handle the situation while federal agents withdrew. The governor said she had...
Bavino was at a remigration summit the other day. I guess he's got to do something now that he's been laid off. Remember, this guy was not appointed by Trump. Bavino worked under the Biden and Obama administrations, right? Even while we had Obama in office, we still had like a white nationalist neo-Nazi BPD dipshit. Wait, did I say BPD? Border Patrol. I mean, he might be BPD. I don't know. In an interview with a far-right website ahead of the summit, Bavino, who didn't wear his controversial coat, referenced Nazi Germany's lead general Erwin Rommel as an inspirational figure. Really? Oh, wow. Okay. That's straightforward. That's cool. He didn't wear his infamous Nazi coat. He was, however, defending Rommel. So, yeah. Masks off now. Yeah, man, he was working since the very beginning of Obama's first term. In 2008, Assistant Chief of Border Patrol Sector in Yuma, Arizona. Yeah, I mean, Bush administration, by the time Biden was in, or sorry, by the time Obama was in, he was already... Sorry, it's just like, it's astonishing to me how much ICE and Border Patrol have always been infested with Nazis, and no one ever did anything about it. You know? Soy... Multiple right-wing influencers equipped with high-tech gear welcome inside, with the summit social media channels boasting enormous interest, partly due to Bovino's presence. It's so sad, man. The European far right, which is still, like, resurgent, getting a big boost in attention because of failed, like, dipshit ICE Gestapo agent who just got fired from his job, is there? Like, oh, yeah, I just got kicked out for failing in Minneapolis. I failed to seize the Twin Cities. And that's their big boost? Embarrassing, man.
Hoped it would help avoid escalation, but things turned chaotic when police say protesters did not heed orders to disperse and tear gas was deployed. So far, at least a dozen people have been arrested as a result of these demonstrations. The protests were sparked by reports of a hunger strike inside the facility. Detainees there complaining of inhumane living conditions and spoiled food. Governor Mikey Sherrill says she has requested access to the facility so she can see those conditions for herself, but she says she has been repeatedly denied. She's also calling for the facility to be shut down altogether. Willie?
Well, that's nice.
The days and nights of protests showing no signs of slowing down outside of Delaney Hall, with details of new...
Head of the state. A governor does not have the authority to jump in on that. That's a federal site. The actual power to inspect an ICE facility is held by members of Congress. Remember, a Democratic member of Congress could just go on in there if they wanted to. They have a legal and unconditional right to kick down those doors and take a look if they want to, but, you know, that would require a bit of stones.
Arrests that were made overnight as New Jersey's governor now has a plea. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini has been monitoring it all for us from the newsroom. She's got the very latest. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Arthur. Good evening. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill urging calm and for those protesting to bring the temperature down outside the detention facility in New Jersey's largest city. Let's go to some video now. This is the scene tonight outside Delaney Hall, where for days now the Immigration Detention Center in Newark has been the site of protests outside and a reported hunger strike inside. Detainees, as we've reported, are on that hunger strike in protest of conditions inside the facility. Governor Sherrill and law enforcement officials holding a news conference today after a chaotic scene yesterday. New Jersey State Police say the public safety response team was deployed after agitators surrounded a law enforcement vehicle and made threats towards personnel. Officers began moving the crowd away from the area. Police also say some people were seen retrieving face coverings, gas masks, fireworks, rocks, and other projectiles. Officials say there were no...
Laughable New York Post article about the food they get in there. Man, it's, it really is crazy how much work has to be done in this country, huh? You know? Yeah, boss, let's run the article on how the ICE detainees are actually getting good food or whatever. It's crazy how much corrective work needs to be done to get ourselves back on track. Much of a reconstructive effort, you know? Eesh.
Significant injuries to officers or to the public. Half a dozen people were arrested.
We know that people from outside the state have been interfering in the protests and escalating them. 5 of the 6 people arrested last night by state police were from outside New Jersey. And some national
Fuck off.
Extremist groups have become involved in the protest here today. To the people coming from out of state to create chaos and dangerous situations, you should not be here. You are not helping the people.
Like, what is the fucking point of saying you want the facility closed, but then you're going to spread this alarmist Antifa terror tactics? You know what? Like, what's the point? You're going to use the Republicans' language to describe the protesters. What's the point?
At Delaney
fucking
Hall.
Democrats, man. I fucking hate. Wait,
you're
Cheryl.
not helping detain.
Oh my God, I'm actually blanking on which fucking party affiliation she is. I can't believe it. Yeah, Democratic Party. Yeah, okay, sorry. She's not exactly a sterling member of the progressive movement. Yeah, I don't know.
families, and you're certainly not keeping New Jersey safe. Today and going forward, I urge those protesting outside of Delaney Hall to bring the temperature down.
Yeah, they're the ones who need to. Again, it's always the same, man. Democrats, man, Democrats. Jesus fucking Christ, they can't. It's infuriating. ICE is the outside incursion force. Yeah, I truly don't understand the rhetoric. The idea that, like, it's somehow worse for out-of-state people to come over. ICE is a federal brand. It's a federal police force. ICE facilities are federal. What do you mean you can't cross state borders to protest a federal? That doesn't make it any sense. It's an American. ICE moves people across state lines to bring them to ICE detention facilities. There's absolutely no, like, state element to it. It's federal. It doesn't. The ICE agents are from out of state. The prisoners are from out of state. Why could the protesters not be from out of state? It makes no sense. How is that them escalating? There's so many goddamn articles in this, dude. Look at this shit, man. Jesus Christ. They're tussling. Can tell they're ICE because they're all 5'2". I grew up in LA. I know what that means.
Between police and protesters. Now you're seeing more and more protesters coming back. We've seen one person under arrest so far. We can't see the rest of them. However, look over there, Alex, to the right. There is a very large grouping of police now moving in with batons and with shields. They are moving to provide now a rear support guard for the police that are there. You can see state police. You can see Newark, New Jersey police. I don't know who those...
Couldn't the governor defund all private facilities? Why would you think a governor could defund a private facility? No, ICE facilities are funded by ICE. What the governor certainly could do is stop repeating Republican rhetoric on the nature of the protesters and accusing them of escalating. Also, she could, not send state police there.
Those new police they're in tactical gear, so it may be a SWAT team.
I don't understand Hispanic ICE officers, TBH. All of Latin America is caught in a racial hierarchy born of the division between the indigenous people who were there first and the Spaniards who showed up and raped everyone. And every racist Latin person believes that they are the direct descendant of Cortez himself. That's the dynamic. When you see racist white supremacist Latins, it's because they think, in spite of their skin color, parentage, heritage, place they live, whatever else, they think they are a direct, pureblood descendant of the Spaniards, and that's their destiny to rule over all of Latin America with an iron fist. Every time, It's shocking how consistent it is. By the way, you know how there's this weird disconnect where, like, Asmongold is super popular, but like the far right is super unpopular with young people in America? Overwhelmingly third worlders. Asmongold, Eastern Europeans and Latin Americans. Zoomer historian, Latin Americans. There's a reason why every time you see a Groyper in public, they're brown. It's not a joke. Like, in America, young people, even young men, are largely sick of this. It's like unimaginable aura loss. They know, if you're a young guy in America, you know what the Republicans stand for. It's child rape. And for the most part, they're not in favor of that. A huge amount of the support that the far right gets online today is coming from non-white white supremacists in Latin America, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe. You get me.
Some sort, but they are moving in. I will tell you, Catherine, the number of protesters left before this happened was relatively small. I think the last time you and I were talking was probably about 100, 125. By the time we left, it was well under that. There are far more police here than there were protesters. What you're looking at to the left of the scene, you see all those police. It's hard to see because it's dark, but to the left of it is the entrance to Delaney Hall. Earlier, when we saw one of the detainees being released, it was from that part. Just beyond that is the Welcome Center, the support center for the families of detainees, where they provide food and support for them. That's where everything has stopped, and we're not quite sure why it stopped.
Remember the Saudi Arabian white supremacist who killed Germans at a Christmas market because he thought Christian Germans were weak in defending the race? Yeah, really, it was like a beyond parody moment. A fucking Arab guy with an Arab name killed a bunch of Christians in Germany, but it turns out it was because he was racist against Muslims and thought the Christians were being too pro-Muslim. Insane. Truly insane. We just had that San Diego mass shooting, and it was from like a, what, Indonesian neo-Nazi lolicon who was like cutting themselves to that fucking anime of the girl who wanted to be Dutch or something? I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole lot. Basically, what I'm saying is racism was invented by non-white people. Wake up. Wake up, everyone. We have never done anything wrong. Check the history books.
At this point, we are being asked by police to move back, so I'm going to be doing that. Can we stay here?
Hitler was black.
Understood. How far do you need us to step back?
They want everybody back. Everybody.
God, we are pressed, though. Can we stay where we are?
I know. They want everybody to step back.
Okay. Any sense of how far we need to step back?
We have to push out all the way back.
All right. Are you able to tell us what is happening there? Because we're trying to.
I just got called in for a backup, sir. That's it.
Okay. Is this okay if we stay here?
You can back all the way up past that.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we won't be able to cover it if we go that far back. We don't want to get anybody's way, but we won't be able to cover it if we go that far back. All right. So are we good now?
Back them up. Yeah.
All right. All right. So you hear what's going on here. They are asking us all to back up. The rules around here are that you can't interfere with the coverage of law enforcement. So law enforcement is asking us to back up. We are asking them, do you know why we're being removed?
Keep going.
Can you tell us what's going on behind you? Okay. How far do we need to go back?
Y'all going all the way down there. All the way back.
All right.
I'm looking at the police, I'm looking at the reporter, and I'm hashtag noticing.
So that impedes our ability to talk about what's going on. Okay. Do you know if anybody, are you making arrests? All right. Well, as you can see, Catherine, we're not getting a response as to what is happening here. We are being pushed back. However, we can still see there is more police presence that is gathering on the scene. We're still seeing more police. We're not seeing what looks like a lot of interaction between police.
Yeah, they're just pushing them all the way back to the fucking state line, man. How far away from the ICE facility does he have to go? They're just with this like a line of 5 cops all just gonna push him till he's what, back at his house?
Protesters. I did see one arrest. I haven't seen more since then, but this is the situation. It is, these police are being very professional about it, but there are 7 police escorting me back to make sure that I'm doing this. I'm not sure how far back we're supposed to go. We're not doing anything to impede law enforcement, nor do we wish to, but we don't have any real guidance as to how far back. I think we're pretty far back, guys. Are we okay here? I mean, the road's several miles. How far back are we going? Okay.
You're good.
Walk with us for
You're good.
all the time?
You're good.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to have a police escort all the way back.
Just going back
I'm trying to keep
home.
an eye on it. It's still, I have a direct line of sight to what's going on. There does not appear to be any. Thank you. Does not appear to be any dispersal.
No,
of the
they're
police.
gonna
In fact,
keep going.
We're seeing more police moving in to the scene. We are seeing. Let's look across the road there, Alex. Go ahead, Catherine.
Are there other members of the press there, or is it just you?
There are, and we are the only
good.
ones
You're
exactly
good.
where we
You're
are, but
good.
there is other media in the area. In fact, I sort of observed earlier. In fact, it might be worth, Alex, just turning around for a second and getting a sense of how many police cars, how many police vehicles there are here. I mean, Catherine, this is the sort of presence that one would have been used to in New York City after 9/11, when they used to do those Cobra exercises where they would converge to simulate a terrorist response. I mean, there are more police cars here than there probably were protesters at this point. But as you can see, the police are removing the press from the.
Clearly neophytes who are indoctrinated. I mean, you can make them out to be like indoctrinated victims or whatever, but legitimately, I'd be willing to bet that. Sorry, I don't want to say anything that's not true. Okay, it is shocking how many ICE agents and cops are Hispanic, though. Like, genuinely shocking. It's. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it's 100% of them. It's not great. It's not great. Well, basically, I'm saying we need more white men in ICE. Getting a little bit too DEI in there. Really, though, these protests, not good, huh? Not good. No. I can't believe how far back they fucking pushed him, man. That's so fucking stupid. How much did this cost in taxes? $1 billion per day. Maybe? I don't know. Could be. Could be thereabouts. Latinos make more than 50% of Border Patrol agents and 24% of ICE agents. That is a shockingly high number. For Latino agents, it's about the money. Well, that's what they'll admit, at least. That's what they'll say.
What's wrong with you, yo? Sorry, bro. Let's go.
Hey, nuts. Back to the OG name.
No, don't worry about it. Come on, let's just keep walking. Let's just get out of
I love the New York Post commentary here. Tear gas to restrain the out of control crowd. It's always videos of the police initiating, you know? Always, always, always. These are all Cheryl's goons. Yeah, everyone in blue are with police. I assume state police, at least some of them. But yeah, no, for sure. Cheryl could stop this if she wanted to. Every Democrat that allows this to continue, like if a governor really wanted to, they could make conditions for ICE basically intolerable in their state. Walz could have done it. Jacob Frey could have done it. Everyone could have done it. To coordinate the police, state police, local police, whatever, against the interests of ICE. This is doable. It can be done, but they don't, obviously. These protests are a waste of time. Nah, protests matter, man. The biggest blow yet done to the Trump administration was not done by any Democrat in office, but rather by the good people of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Protests matter. The anti-ICE stuff matters. It's really important that the Trump administration be reminded over and over and over and over again that ICE does not work as like a do-all federal police force. You know what I mean? Really, really important. Look at all the resources protesters have stocked up. Leaders in Minnesota. Nah, the Democrats in Minnesota didn't do shit, dog. All Jacob Frey said was get the fuck out of Minneapolis. Then he didn't do anything. Tim Walz didn't do anything. They suck. It seems these governors are afraid of their own police, like NYC mayors are afraid of NYPD. Yeah, one of the big problems that we have consistently with police is that they're traitors. Like 80% of cops are MAGA. Like if you voted for Trump, you just shouldn't be allowed to be a police. I don't think you should be allowed to vote or really do anything, to be honest with you. You should be out like farming. Farming something. But you shouldn't be police. I mean, to be pro-Trump is to defy the law. Like, you hate the law and you hate America. I don't think you should be able to be a police officer. I'm being serious. Like, I think this is legitimately... Like, yeah, if you politically aided and abetted the most criminal political organization in American history and continue to support them, how the fuck can you be a cop, you know? Yes, this is where Andy Kim got pepper sprayed.
It's been a relatively quiet morning outside of Delaney Hall here in Newark. You still got some protesters here. Don't get me wrong. They've been yelling out some chants, hey, hey, ho, ho, Delaney Hall has got to go, things of that nature. But it certainly pales in comparison to what we saw last night. You take a look at the video. This is overnight, and you'll see ICE officers trying to separate protesters from vehicles as those vehicles were trying to leave the facility. Protesters will tell you they don't want
such brave protesters.
Everyone being held inside, or they want everyone being held inside released, but not moved to other facilities where they may be separated from their families. Now, 2 arrests were made overnight, according to Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullins, who posted on X.
Very small number of arrests considering the size of the protest. I think that, again, speaks to the relative weakness of ICE right now. They were rounding up way more people back in Los Angeles, certainly in Minneapolis. You know, even with the police on their side, it seems like they're kind of struggling to hold the line here.
Protesters sprayed a substance on an officer during the incident. And clearly, you could see that officers used what appears to be pepper spray on those trying to stop the vehicles as well. Now, protesters have made it clear they're upset about apparent conditions inside for those being detained. They want more rights for those who are ill and those who are underage. DHS continues to say conditions inside are better than most jails that house American citizens.
Oh, I'm sure.
Those inside have access to good food, clean water, and can communicate with loved ones over the phone. Of course, none of us have been inside to see that. We know some elected officials have been inside as well, sharing their opinions. We're reading your opinions on our social posts as well. So again, we'll keep you posted on what we see out here outside Delaney Hall as it develops.
Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday. It is May 31st.
Sorry, I'm mostly catching myself up, too. I haven't really been paying that much attention. Blame RE9.
Adoba. This is Morning in America. And let's begin with that breaking news in New Jersey. New violent clashes erupting overnight between anti-ICE demonstrators and authorities outside a Newark immigration detention center. This morning, the Department of Homeland Security says the area around Delaney Hall is now secured. We also know New Jersey's Governor Mikey Sherrill is condemning the violence as this activity enters its 9th day. Overnight, protesters briefly broke through barricades before authorities pushed them back. At one point, a fire was set next to a road closed to Delaney Hall. It's unclear how it started, but sent protesters and officials scrambling.
Did you see they didn't let Cheryl into the facility? Yep, they didn't let Cheryl into the facility, and yet, like a broken dog, she continues to send state police to defend them. It's so difficult to get a read on where this country could be if Democrats had a spine because of the total asymmetry and commitment between the two parties. Like, Republicans will break the law openly, flagrantly too, in the case of Trump, who allegedly smells like shit all the time. And then you take a look, I Google, right? Elected officials entering Newark facility. What do I see? From the Department of Homeland Security, correct the record, DHS debunks sanctuary politician smears about ICE's Delaney Hall facility in New Jersey. Sanctuary politicians and leftist activists have been spreading false info, blah, 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 right? So in an environment where the Republicans are talking like this, and Governor Sherrill is saying that the protesters are outside insurgents causing violence and escalating, how are we to even know, like, where the public stands on this issue? There's such an asymmetry in the perspectives being offered, right? Republicans can say anything and everything. Democrats won't even engage in the rhetoric, let alone not engaging in the necessary action. They won't even do the talking. This is the consequence of backing ICE rhetoric too. Oof. The direct congratulation from Markwayne Mullin. Thank you, Governor Sherrill of New Jersey, for cooperating with us to help restore law and order. It's such a humiliation ritual, man. Defending or voting for the Democrats is such a fucking humiliation ritual. Like, at least if you vote for Republican, you get what you want, which is the end of the world. But for Democrats, they're like, we'll make things better, and then they don't. So, like, more's the fool, right? You know? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me every single possible time, thousands of times in a row. Yeah. Mandatory curfew for half-mile surrounding Delaney Hall. Wow, thanks for defending ICE. That's great. Thank you. It's out of curiosity, is that a curfew for civilians or a curfew for ICE agents? That's what I thought. Yeah.
Protesters facing off with ICE agents outside an immigration detention.
Jesus Christ, this suit is tight. Look at that, man. Shrink
New
wrap.
Jersey. The governor today sending state police to the scene. Let's listen.
We all need to do everything we can to cool things down now. I will not give ICE.
Ross Baraka was the progressive in the governor's race, by the way. Yeah, it's worth remembering that, like, the behavior of the Democrats isn't so much a personal individual failure on their part, so much as it is a system that is putting enormous pressure on them as soon as they enter office or beforehand, you know?
The pretext to expand operations in our state. For that reason, New Jersey law enforcement is today establishing a peaceful, protected protest zone in the area right outside Delaney Hall.
That comes after several nights of violent clashes. I want to get right to NBC New York reporter Checky Bedford for more on this. So Checky, what's the situation like right now? It looked very tense earlier in the week.
Well, right now it's kind of a standoff between protesters and, instead of ICE, it's state police. Take a look over here. They're kind of gathered in a group. They had tried initially to sort of form a line to stop people from moving any further, but protesters have basically said that they're not going to go into these zones. Now, police have been calling them the First Amendment, the designated First Amendment zone, and I want to show you what that is over here. I'm going to have the photographer turn around so you could see this pen area here.
Jesus Christ.
That they want protesters to go in. Again, protesters say that everywhere is
Yeah,
okay
we built a cuck box. If you could just Could you get in the
have their First Amendment rights, and they will not go into this area. So it's kind of what we're doing right now is waiting to see what will happen, what will state police do, because this we're looking at right now is Doremus Avenue. It's the street right outside of Delaney Hall, and traffic, as you can imagine, has been impacted. There is no traffic coming down this road now, and that has been an issue. Over the last couple of nights, the governor says one person was hit by a car because of the tussle and the violence between ICE and protesters. Right now, ICE specifically is back in behind the gates of Delaney Hall here. They initially were standing out front, face to face with protesters. That has been sort of the position all through the week. But
news anchor reports on this like it's totally normal and reasonable. The news anchors cannot frame their coverage in any way that ever implicates the behavior of the system of police, the federal government, whatever else. It's impossible for them. They're not allowed to do it.
now they're back inside their facility, standing back, and the governor says she wants them to be completely out of the equation and that state police now would be taking over.
It'll be interesting to see how it does play out with state police there. And Checky, I know you and your team have been there all week. Is there any...
My brother, your suit is too tight. Look at this, man. You've got like a damn pauldron with a shoulder pad here.
indication of why things have been escalating?
Well, we've seen things escalating as you go into the night.
That's so disingenuous. An ICE officer pushed someone into the wheel well of a large truck and they got ran over. All violence that takes place here is the fault of ICE. It doesn't matter. If a protester hurts an ICE agent, it's the fault of ICE. ICE is the tyrannical federal police agency here to rape and murder and kill and destroy the country. They are the ones instigated the violence. They've created the problem. Every death caused by Hitler's invasion of Poland was on the Nazis. Doesn't matter which direction it went in. That's how it works. That's, by the way, that's not just like a radical lefty opinion. This is literally morally and legally how we consider, like, how we treat violence. Like, the person who initiates the violence, the person who initiates the illegality is usually responsible for everything that follows. It's a wide variety. There's a great deal and a long, long history of precedent on this. It's not like a radical lefty perspective. ICE is the one at fault here.
Later into the night, we see more people coming out, and we see more instances of violence between ICE and protesters. I think that there's notoriety. More people are hearing about it and deciding to come out and lend their voice. We saw a couple of influencers here, Jolly Ginger, and then they've been getting into scuffles with conservative influencers here as well. And remember, tomorrow is supposed to be a pro-ICE rally out here in front of Delaney Hall, and then you expect the opposite as well, the opponents of ICE to come out as well. So you can imagine that this is going to be a tense situation out here tomorrow, and they're hoping that these zones, these protest zones, will help keep
the cuck box. Will the police insist the pro-ICE protesters get in the cuck box? Probably not. Dueling ICE protest. Man, I'm sorry. There's just so much going on out here, man.
We begin with the ongoing tensions outside Delaney Hall in Newark, where a group of pro-ICE demonstrators confronted protesters who have been on the ground for more than a week, advocating for detainees who they say were being subjected to inhumane conditions. This happening a day after the New Jersey State Police clashed with protesters, leading to several arrests. Andrew Ramos is live outside Delaney Hall with the very latest on this one. Andrew, good evening.
Good evening, Alan. Well, it's been certainly a very eventful day here outside Delaney Hall. At times, it's been very tense.
He looks a little bit like comic book Frenchie, doesn't he? This guy? No?
Especially with those dueling protests that you had mentioned. Right now, we could report that it is mostly peaceful. Now, I'll get out of the way and give you an idea of where things stand right now. You can see that main pit of protesters, about 200, and that is growing at this hour. Those protesters have been gathering outside the facility, as they have been doing for the past week now. Then if you pan over to the right, you can see the orange barricade.
I was telling Bosch to cover this a few days ago. He threatened to ban me. Haha. Mods! Check the logs. Enemy of the goddamn proletariat.
That's where the pro-ICE supporters have
congregated.
At this hour, there's about 2 left, so not that many today. And if you go all the way to your far left, you could see that line of state troopers, about 35 of them who have formed the line outside the fence here to Delaney. Now, all of these moving parts in what has really become a very unpredictable situation in Newark. Dueling protests unfold outside Delaney Hall Saturday morning.
Oh my god, they actually do have 2 opposing cuck boxes. That's so fucking funny. Jesus Christ.
The site of unrest for more than a week now. One side calling for the immigration detention facility to be shut down, while the other a pro-ICE coalition, which was significantly outnumbered.
Defend immigrants! Bigots! Go home! I'm just here in support of ICE and our law enforcement.
It's like a scene from The Boys. It does feel like an incredibly on-the-nose parody of how democracy is meant to function in America, where you corral 2 opposing sides into like opposite cuck boxes. Meanwhile, the state just continues to brutalize people however it wants. I like women with blue hair. I like women with blonde hair. Meanwhile, like an ICE agent's raping a child in the detention facility. That's American democracy for you.
Why? Because we need to let them do their job.
While the temperature hit a boiling point when members
I'm sorry,
of the
hold on
far-right
one second.
group,
Yep, priors confirmed.
Proud Boys arrived, the increased police presence maintained order. The verbal skirmishes paled in comparison to what took place just 12 hours earlier, when New Jersey State Police in full riot gear clashed with protesters as they rolled out new measures outside Delaney Hall, where demonstrations have intensified. Claims of First Amendment rights being violated after images of state police violently removing protesters.
When can I pre-order your phrenology textbook? I'm just getting tired of every time I see one of these scenes play out. It's like that one, it's the 2 Wojaks on the bus, and the white Wojak is wearing a shirt that says Black Woman Magic, and the black Wojak is wearing the shirt that says white, conservative, and straight. How else can I offend you today? It's every single one of these goddamn... Every time you see an ICE officer, a border patrol, a cop, whatever, every time.
From the site were enough to prompt a briefing by state officials today, where they pinned the blame on agitators.
We know that people from outside
That would be a good emote. I don't know. I don't think it would read that well. I don't know if you could get like the spirit of the t-shirts across with the 2 Wojaks looking at each other. I don't think you could.
State have been interfering in the protests and escalating them. 5 of the 6 people arrested last night by state police were from outside New Jersey. And some national extremist groups have become involved in the protest here today.
State police insist they gave protesters multiple warnings about dispersing from the site Friday night. But they say many of them did not comply, where agitators began to make threats.
Due to escalating safety risks, the Public Safety Response Team was deployed to protect personnel and maintain safety for all.
DHS posted this on X. Alongside our law enforcement partners in New Jersey, we remain committed to restoring law and order. Anyone who assaults law enforcement will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now, the governor maintains that.
Hi, Frenchie. Yeah, okay. I feel like we're more or less caught up. Fuck these people, man. Fuck the Democrats. Again, I'm so. I know. It's a point I've bounded on too many times. It's just like, damn, man, the Republicans are doing what they said they were going to do. The Republicans are doing exactly. Republicans campaigned on deporting 20 million people. That was always going to involve concentration camps. The Democrats are not doing what they said they were going to do. And the liberals on Twitter, they'll be like, what do you want them to do? Don't deploy state police defending them. Don't defend them with state police. Don't put a curfew in place. Don't do a press conference when you say that agitators from out of state are coming to initiate violence against ICE. God almighty.